Right now, a brutal winter situation is hammering the Northeast. A massive, fast-moving storm is sweeping from the Great Lakes all the way into New England, bringing a dangerous mix of ice, heavy snow, and howling winds. Visibility is dropping to near zero in many spots, making it incredibly hard to see. If you are planning to travel, you might want to rethink that. Conditions are going downhill fast, and officials across multiple states are practically begging people to just stay home and keep off the roads while this system moves through. In places like Vermont and New York, it's not just snow, it's freezing rain. It's glazing over roads, bridges, and power lines with a thick sheet of ice, turning even a quick drive into a serious risk. State troopers in Vermont say it's getting treacherous out there, with ice building up anywhere from 1/10 to a ½ inch in some towns. And because the ground is already so cold, that ice isn't melting. It's sticking around, keeping things slick even during the brief breaks in the storm. We're seeing total whiteout conditions near Syracuse. And checking in on Buffalo, take a look at the waterfront. The waves out there are absolutely intense. This storm is huge, affecting millions of Americans. It stretches all the way from the upper Midwest right into the heart of New England. The system is getting stronger as it heads east, dumping a messy combination of freezing rain, sleet, dense fog, and powerful winds. The toughest part is how fast it changes. In some spots, the weather is flipping hour by hour, which makes it a nightmare for forecasters and even worse for drivers. Western and upstate New York are under some serious warnings right now, so please take this seriously. Audio script, continued. Emergency officials in Buffalo have a clear message. Stay off the roads during the peak of this storm. The snow is coming down faster and the winds are picking up strength. When you combine those heavy gusts with the falling snow, you get near whiteout conditions. In some areas, visibility has dropped so sharply that drivers can barely see a few feet in front of their windshields. The storm is also taking a toll on the power grid. Outages are mounting as ice and wind snap lines and damage infrastructure. Right now, tens of thousands of customers are in the dark across New York, Michigan, Pennsylvania, and New Hampshire. The combination of heavy ice accumulation and strong winds is causing breaks that could take some time to fix, especially for crews trying to reach rural or mountainous areas where access is difficult. Over in Michigan, this storm has delivered a brutal 1-2 punch. The northern parts of the Upper Peninsula got hit first by the main system's heavy snow and wind, only to be slammed right after by intense lake-effect snow on the back end. That created blizzard conditions, dropping visibility to near zero. Some parts of the UP have already seen up to 24 inches of accumulation, literally burying roads and making travel nearly impossible. Further south, around the Detroit area, we are seeing dangerous snow squalls. These sudden bursts led to a shutdown on a section of Interstate 75 after multiple crashes, including a wreck involving a semi-truck. These squalls are incredibly dangerous because they tank visibility in seconds with almost no warning. It's enough to make you repeat that local mantra we always hear this time of year. We don't have earthquakes. We don't have hurricanes. We don't have alligators. We definitely don't have those, but we certainly have this. No, we don't. But strong winds remain a major concern right now across the entire region. Wind advisories are currently in effect for a huge chunk of New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut. These gusts are powerful enough to cause even more property damage and knock out power for more neighborhoods. Up in the St. Lawrence Valley, gusts between 40 and 50 miles per hour are expected to last well into the night, which is going to complicate travel and make cleanup efforts incredibly difficult. Farther east, Maine and New Hampshire are dealing with a messy mix of snow, sleet, and ice. Some areas are expecting up to half an inch of ice accumulation. That is a dangerous amount, enough to bring down trees and snap power lines. And remember, even where the snow totals are lower, slick, icy surfaces are still a major hazard for both drivers and anyone walking outside. To add another layer of danger, dense fog is rolling in across parts of the Northeast. As warmer air moves over the existing snowpack, the melting is creating fog thick enough to cut visibility down to a quarter mile or less in some spots. When you combine that fog with the ice and the wind, travel conditions go from difficult to completely unpredictable. Meanwhile, lake-effect snow continues to absolutely hammer parts of upstate New York, particularly around Syracuse. In just a few hours overnight, the city saw more than 11 inches of snow. And as is typical with lake effect, it is extremely localized. Some communities got buried while places just miles away saw almost nothing. That variability is the hallmark of these storms. Narrow bands can dump feet of snow in one spot and leave the next town untouched. In North Syracuse, totals were already approaching 18 inches by early morning, and more is on the way as those bands linger through the day and into tonight. Strong winds, with gusts topping 50 miles per hour, are whipping up blowing and drifting snow everywhere. It's making it incredibly tough to get accurate snowfall measurements and even harder for plow crews to keep the roads clear. The shock out there is real. You can hear the frustration from residents who feel completely blindsided, with one saying, "Unbelievable. Nobody expected this. Nobody was prepared for it." That sentiment is rippling across the region as people dig out from these massive drifts. Meteorologists are noting that the snow falling right now is exceptionally dry and fluffy. The snow-to-water ratio is far above average, which makes it very light. The problem is that light snow is easily picked up by the wind, creating deep drifts and changing road conditions in the blink of an eye. We could see additional accumulations of a foot or more in areas where those lake effect bands remain stationary through New Year's Day. As this storm continues to move and evolve, officials are urging residents across the affected regions to stay alert. Limit your travel if possible, and keep preparing for ongoing power outages. Emergency crews remain active across multiple states, responding to crashes and weather-related emergencies as this system continues its slow and impactful march across the Northeast. If you liked the analysis in this video, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Please share this video with your friends, family members, and relatives. And finally, if you found this report helpful, please hit the like button. This helps us beat the algorithm and ensures this truth reaches more people who need to hear it. Thank you for watching.